Steeler Nation, welcome back to the channel. You all know this team is working hard every single day to sharpen its edge, to get better and stronger, because the mission is simple: bring winning football back to Pittsburgh. And if you're fired up after what we saw this weekend, then do me a quick favor. Smash that like button right now so more Steelers fans can join the conversation. Now, let's dive into the story everyone is talking about: Aaron Rodgers' incredible debut as a Steeler, the revenge game against his old team, and what it all means for this season. For the first time in years, Aaron Rodgers walked off the field smiling after a New York Jets loss, because this time he was the one handing it to them. In his very first game wearing black and gold, Rodgers threw for 244 yards and 4 touchdowns, and he even set up Boswell for a monster 60-yard field goal that ultimately sealed a dramatic 34-32 Steelers win. Now here's the thing. This wasn't just a win. This was Rodgers sending a message. Jets fans were heckling him all game, Jets players were jawing at him, and Quinnen Williams even sacked him on his very first snap. But instead of folding, Rodgers did what Hall of Famers do. He counterpunched for 4 quarters straight. After the game, Rodgers didn't hold back. He said there were people in that organization that didn't think I could play anymore, so it was nice to remind those people that I still can. That's vintage Rodgers, calm, collected, but cutting with his words. Mike Tomlin was smiling ear to ear after the win, and honestly, can you blame him? Just last week, reporters asked why he was so confident about Rodgers at this stage of his career. His answer was simple: this is why. Rodgers didn't just play well, he gave Pittsburgh something they haven't had in years: points on the opening drive. That's right. Last season, the Steelers didn't score a single opening drive touchdown all year. Rodgers changed that in 1 quarter. His first touchdown in the Steelers uniform went to Ben Skowronek, and you could just feel the shift in energy. This offense finally had juice, finally had swagger, and the best part? Rodgers was doing it at 41 years old. Steeler fans, let's be real. Rodgers wanted this one badly. His exit from New York wasn't clean. After 2 rocky seasons, the Jets' new head coach, Aaron Glenn, told Rodgers face-to-face that he was being released. Rodgers later admitted he felt disrespected in that meeting. So when he said after the game, "I was happy to beat everybody associated with the Jets," you could tell this was personal. And now, Pittsburgh gets the benefits of that fire. The 4-time MVP is already sitting at 507 career touchdown passes, just one shy of tying Brett Favre's 508. Think about that. In Week 2 against Seattle, Rodgers could tie or even pass Favre, the guy he replaced in Green Bay. History is literally unfolding in a Steelers uniform. But let's not sugarcoat it, Steeler Nation. As thrilling as this win was, the defense gave everyone plenty of reasons to worry. The Jets scored 32 points and gashed the Steelers for 182 rushing yards. And yes, rookie first-rounder Derek Harmon wasn't available, but excuses only go so far. Patrick Queen, the new linebacker Pittsburgh brought in this offseason, didn't mince words after the game. He said flat out, "We played like expletive. If we keep playing like that, we're going to get our face mashed in." That's raw honesty, and you almost appreciate it because it shows the defense knows it has to get better, fast. Let's not forget, the entire offseason plan was built around fixing what happened against Baltimore in the last year's playoffs, when the Ravens ran for nearly 300 yards. The Steelers spent 3 of their top 4 draft picks on the front 7. They brought in Malik Harrison, and they restructured Cam Hayward's deal to keep him around. And yet, here we are after Week 1, still seeing the same cracks in the armor. Tomlin addressed it too, saying, "Do I like how we played? Do I like our inability to stop the run? No, but I loved our mindset." That's classic Tomlin. He's going to focus on fight and resilience, and yes, in crunch time, the defense did step up. They forced the Jets off the field rate. Jalen Ramsey made a huge play, breaking up a pass, and Boswell's kick never happens without those stops. But make no mistake, this was against the Jets in Week 1. If this defense doesn't tighten up, teams like the Ravens, Bengals, and Chiefs will feast. Still, Steeler fans, you can't deny the excitement. Rodgers didn't just manage the game, he elevated everyone around him. The receivers looked sharper, the offensive line looked tougher, and the team finally felt like it had direction on offense. More than that, Rodgers gives this team belief. For the past few years, it felt like Pittsburgh was stuck in quarterback purgatory. Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky. Now, it's Rodgers. A four-time MVP, a future Hall of Famer, a quarterback who walks into any stadium and expects to win. That changes everything. And here's a little forward-looking nugget for you. If Rodgers stays healthy and plays anywhere near this level, the Steelers aren't just playoff contenders, they're Super Bowl dark horses. Yes, the defense has to fix things, but if Rodgers is slinging 4 touchdowns and Boswell is drilling 60-yarders, Pittsburgh can hang with anyone. Let's set the stage. Steelers versus Jets, 1 minute left on the clock, 4th and long, only 1 timeout left, and the game on the line. Most teams panic in that moment. Most coaches start thinking about Hail Marys or miracle plays. Not Mike Tomlin, not the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because we got Chris Boswell. The 34-year-old kicker walked onto that field with ice in his veins and nailed a career-long 60-yard field goal to put the Steelers ahead for good in a dramatic 34-32 thriller. And it wasn't the first time he came through. Earlier in the game, he had already drilled a 56-yarder like it was nothing. 2 monster kicks, 1 epic win, and once again, Boswell proved why he's not just one of the best kickers in the NFL right now, but one of the best in league history. After the game, Mike Tomlin spoke to the media, and let me tell you, his comments about Boswell had the football world buzzing. Tomlin said, "I can't say enough about Boswell. Our kicker is a serial killer. He's got a low post rate, and he can't wait to deliver. Bos always wants to bang from deep. That one he made in the first half, I don't even know if he looked at me, but that's the type of guy you want. A serial killer? That's not exactly a phrase you hear every day when describing an NFL kicker. But if you've watched Boswell over the past decade, you know exactly what Tomlin means. The man has ice in his veins. He doesn't flinch. He doesn't blink. He just delivers. And when it comes to crunch time football, that mentality is priceless. Let's talk about just how special Boswell has been. That kick against the Jets marked the 11th game winner of his career. He's the 4th most accurate kicker in NFL history. Last season, he was nearly automatic, hitting 93.2% of his kicks, 41 out of 44. From 50 yards or more, he went 13 for 15, one of the best deep kicking seasons ever recorded.
And here's the kicker, no pun intended. He led the Steelers in total points in 2024. Think about that. On a team with weapons like George Pickens, Jaylen Warren, and Pat Freiermuth, it was Chris Boswell who scored the most points. He's not just a luxury, he's the backbone of this team's scoring attack. Now here's where things get really interesting. While the big offseason storyline was Cam Hayward's contract extension, an underrated subplot was Boswell quietly looking for a raise of his own. Hayward got his deal right before the season kicked off. Boswell didn't. Right now, his contract runs through 2026, and by the time it ends, he'll be 36 years old. But let's be real. For elite kickers, age is just a number. Guys like Adam Vinatieri and Morton Anderson kicked well into their 40s, and Boswell has that same type of career arc written all over him. So the question becomes, will Omar Khan and the Steelers front office step up and lock Boswell in with another extension sooner rather than later? History tells us the Steelers don't usually do deals mid-season, but with Boswell's value climbing after every clutch kick, it's hard to imagine Pittsburgh letting him get anywhere close to free agency without a long-term plan. Steeler Nation, here's the truth. Boswell isn't just a great kicker, he's a game changer. This team has leaned on him heavily. In fact, Pittsburgh led the entire NFL in field goals made last year. That tells you 2 things. 1, the offense still struggles to finish drives consistently, and 2, Boswell has been there to clean it up every single time. He's the reason games against Atlanta in Week 1 last year and Baltimore in Week 11 ended up in the win column. Those were games where he was the only source of points.
When you're talking about close, gritty AFC North football, having Boswell is like having an ace closer in baseball. When the game is on the line, you hand him the ball, or in this case, the lace is out, and you trust him to deliver. Tomlin's comments weren't just hyperbole. They were a reflection of years of trust. Think about it. How many coaches in the NFL would confidently trot out their kicker for a 60-yard game winner with the season opener on the line? Most would hesitate. Tomlin didn't blink. That trust says everything about Boswell's standing inside this organization. He's not just another player. He's part of the Steelers' identity. Cool under pressure, reliable, and unshaken by the moment. So here we are, Steeler Nation. Week 1 is in the books. Rodgers got his revenge on the Jets, and Pittsburgh starts the season 1-0. But the story is twofold. Rodgers looked like a superstar, the defense looked shaky, and now the question becomes, can this team put it all together before it costs them against tougher opponents? That's what I want to hear from you in the comments. Did Aaron Rodgers prove to you that the Steelers made the right move signing him? And are you concerned about the defense, or do you think it's just Week 1 rust? Drop your thoughts below because I'll be reading every single one. And before you go, do me one more favor. Hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a single Steeler update. We've got a long season ahead, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss what's coming next. Here we go, Steelers.